ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and it is 2024, and we're still living right here.
Boy, that is truly amazing.
It is.
When you say that. Considering when we were born, and we won't even go there. I'm Jim Fuller, by the way.
Yeah, welcome my friend and partner Jim Fuller for coming in today. Peggy's a little under the weather today, so Jim's going to come in and help me with the useless dribble.
Useless dribble is one of our most positive characteristics.
Yeah, that's it. You know, Fuller, we got the Christmas parades done. We've got New Year's done. What did you do New Year's Eve?
I was in bed about 10:30.
I'm proud of you.
I missed the New Year's festivities.
There were so many years that we went without sleep for days during the holidays.
When John and I were at the Legion, New Year's was a huge event.
Oh,
and
the whole month was.
The whole month was, actually, and so
the corporate parties started in November.
That's true. And it was every day.
Every night.
7 days a week.
Every night, sure was.
Then on through New Year's. So, but
how times have changed.
And the Legion's been closed for 16 years now, and I probably haven't been up till midnight since then.
Unless Nancy had somewhere she took you to and you had to go.
Yeah, and one of the most difficult things she took me to was, I think it was the church had some midnight service happened at midnight.
Yeah.
And
you went to that?
One time.
Yeah, you better man than me.
That was painful for me.
Oh.
When you're sitting there trying to stay awake till midnight. Anyway.
And me, I'm spending my time doing a lot of reading.
Yeah.
Reading with the school children, and I hadn't been with my babies. I read at East Lincoln School in the second grade, because that's where I went to school. I go over there every Monday and read to my second graders, and they've been out of school.
Right.
For, of course, Christmas and New Year's. And buddy, yesterday I got in my car and I ran over there, and guess what?
They weren't there. They weren't there.
The teachers were there, but they weren't there.
Right.
I said, well, let me tell you what I did. Last Wednesday, I went to Morning Point,
the
assisted living center, and read over there. And I can't say to the old folks, because I is old folks. But I read to my friends.
Some of them are going to be younger than you over there.
So I read to my friends. There was about 8 women and 1 old rooster in there. And Miss Martha Carden was one of the people that lives over there, and I love her dearly.
Right.
Have ever since I was in East Junior High. I was in love with her when I was in the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I was in love with her.
She's a beautiful woman.
Beautiful woman. I told Milner one time, I said, Coach, I'm going to take that woman away from you. And he said, Gray, 30 minutes with her and a glass of cold water to kill you. But I was over there, and let me tell you what I did. I had on what I have on right now, except I didn't have a tie on, because most of the time, unless he's on the stage on the show, Tom Selleck doesn't wear a tie. On all those commercials he does. My lovely wife, Fran, gave me this corduroy vest last year for Christmas. I love it. And he has a corduroy vest he wears. So I walk in Morning Point the other day, and I've got my Stetson felt hat on, wide brim hat, and I'm decked out. I walked in, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and I said, I apologize. I said, I know y'all were expecting Tom Selleck in here today. And I said, but he had another engagement. and I'm his stunt double when he works with short actors. So he sent me instead. And I sat down over there and talked and read stuff and discussed things with those wonderful people over there for about 2.5 hours. And it was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, those are great people over there.
Yeah, heavens yes, heavens yes. And you know, they are all still in the game.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you're talking to somebody who's not up on their stuff. They are.
Well, assisted living centers are a lot different than you might imagine if you had never been in one.
Yeah.
But these people, a lot of them have their own vehicles.
Sure.
They come and go as they like, and you know, they feed you 3 times a day, I think.
That's it. That's it,
know,
man. Got all kind. And I was an activity. I had to book time.
Right.
You know, because they have. I walked in there one day, and they were in there and they were doing exercises in their chairs, and I wanted to speak to Martha, and she was there, so I just went over and pulled up a chair next to her, and I got to swimming with them and doing whatever they were doing. It made me feel pretty good.
Yeah.
So they had, there's all kinds of good stuff going on. Food's good. Heat never goes out.
Right.
Plumbing always works.
Right. And you don't, as a resident, you don't ever have to worry about any of that.
Nothing.
So,
Not a thing in this world. One thing I want to talk about today, Jim, is the fact that there's a lady who was very, very, very active in this town and responsible for a whole lot of things getting done. Miss Marjorie Collier passed away. And I went to the funeral. A friend and I went to the funeral home yesterday to speak with them. And, you know, it came to mind to me that if you turn around 360 degrees in Tullahoma, particularly if you're downtown in the downtown area, but really pretty much wherever you are, and look, you're going to see something that has Marjorie Collier's fingerprints
you're
on it.
exactly right, yes.
Because she always had a task or a project going on that was good. She's the reason we have a caboose down here in downtown. They were going to do away with all of that. It was stuck down there across from Builder's Supply. Nobody ever wanted to go down there and look at it. Who wanted to go down there? She moved that thing uptown and got it painted up, got that park started down there.
You know, and while you're on that subject about the caboose, you ought to give our friend Troy Bisbee a little credit as well, because he was mayor then, and Marjorie convinced him that
funded.
Yeah. And Troy took a lot of heat over that, you know, politically there for a while.
But look what it's turned into.
Absolutely.
Now it's our Veterans Park where there's stones for veterans, and the Veterans Day celebration, and the 2 monuments for veterans are down there.
Right.
For Gold Star and what is Blue Star Mothers.
Yes.
And it's just a wonderful park, and the caboose is painted up and looks nice. The trees lit up at Christmas time. There's some wonderful, when downtown got relighted, they took lights and put pole lights and put over there. It's just a great place. And Marjorie was involved in stuff like that. And other than Bob Couch, she's probably was one of the largest, most knowledgeable historians in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
And she worked hard with that on the museum and different things that she had in her mind. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she an alderman at one point?
Yes, I believe she was, yes.
And so she dabbled in politics a little bit, and I'm sure the reason she did it was because she figured out those are the ones who are funding stuff, and it seems that a lot of things that they want done get done, so I'll just be one of them.
Right.
And where I can put my chips in on the table, you know. But wonderful family. And when I was thinking about her, I thought of something that I wrote quite a long time ago. Matter of fact, this was in April of 16. A long time ago, for almost, that's 8 years ago.
At our age, it is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Leave it better, because she did. We're here for a good time, not for a long time. So if it's broken, fix it. If it's dirty, clean it up. Find a way to help when someone's down on their luck. Life is a privilege, not a right. Entitlement is wrong. So go to work and leave it better when you're gone. Leave it better when you're gone. What can it hurt? Protect clean air and water. Walk barefoot in good dirt. Respect the chores of stout folks, those whose backs we ride on, and do all you can to leave it better when you're gone. There's no need for all those frowns. Leave them with a smile. If they're hungry, feed them. Cold, give them clothes. Share what you've been given and see how it goes. You'll be surprised what's in the eyes of those that are looked down on. An open heart is how you start. Leave it better when you're gone. Leave it better when you're gone. What would it hurt? Protect every forest and each farmer's piece of dirt. Cherish the tales of old folks whose history you stand on, and do all you can to leave it better when you're gone.
Very good.
So I gave a copy of that to her children, and gave them my thoughts about Marjorie, and she was a matriarch
Yeah.
of this town for a long time.
Yes, and what you just read there is absolutely characterizes
Marjorie.
Yeah,
And I don't know, it just ran across my mind. Now, we're going to get to important stuff. Did you know Tennessee knew how to play basketball?
Sure.
Did you know that they were playing number 4 or 5 basketball in the nation right now?
They are number 5 in the nation right now. Yes.
Well, they were number 5 before they beat somebody.
They beat Ole Miss on Saturday, I think, but they're still number 5. The rankings.
I thought one of the other teams below them got beat.
Maybe.
Oh, the rankings have come out.
Yeah.
They're still number 5.
Still number 5.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, Ole Miss was undefeated, so.
And
I take it back. Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. And what about that football team on Bowl Day?
Absolutely gives you something to look forward to, because this young man who's playing quarterback, a freshman, he's the real deal.
He's the real deal, and while he's there, our new coach will have, that young man will have, I think, 2 years of the coach's draft class or recruitment class.
Yeah.
So they'll be playing with people that he brought in.
Right.
To play the scheme that he's playing, and
Right.
it should be exciting.
I think that's what really impressed me most about it. I mean, well, of course, he had statistically had a great day. He scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And threw for another one, so he was responsible for 4 touchdowns that day.
And he's young.
And he's a true freshman. And but I think the thing that impressed me most was that he fits into that offensive scheme perfectly.
Oh yeah.
You know, no hesitation. You know, he just, it's just a natural thing.
Run and gun, baby.
Yeah, and he makes all the throws he needs to make. And this is a freshman. You know?
And the thing about it is that offense, if they offsides, if they make a mistake, if he gets sacked, it ain't no big deal.
Right.
Stand up there and sling it again.
Right.
You sling it enough times in the right direction, we're going to beat somebody.
Right.
Sort of like if you run it in the right direction, we're going to beat somebody, is what Washington's looking at this morning.
Yeah.
Because Michigan absolutely throttled them.
They did. I know. You know they've got to be tickled. It's been 27 since 1997.
Yeah.
Was the last time they won a national title.
How many did they have? Do you know, Jim?
National title.
Yeah. 3
I
was
think
it 3?
three, but, but I'm
So
not
now
positive.
they're at 4.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Well, you know, when they stepped on the field with Alabama, and I looked, because Alabama's a big football team.
Yeah.
And I looked at those boys on the other side from Alabama's line, and they looked like road graders compared to Alabama's line. They butts were that wide. I mean, you talk about a mass of men.
Yeah, the thing about Michigan, really not just Michigan, but a lot of schools, you know, those, especially your offensive linemen need to be kind of mobile, you know.
Yeah, the offense, yeah, and defense too.
Right. But now you're seeing guys that weigh 330 pounds that are still quick as heck.
Quick feet. They're looking at their feet.
Right. Yeah. So,
There's all kinds of big boys out there, but you get big boys with quick feet, and you got a star.
I started watching Tennessee football back when Phil Fuller was playing, and at that point, your offensive lineman weighed about 200 to 220.
Yeah,
And
240 was a big man.
A big man.
Now that's a running back.
That's right, and because Dewey Warren was the quarterback back then.
I had a class or two with Dewey.
And Dewey was bigger than most of the
Oh
linemen.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he slept through every class I was in with him.
Well,
He
Dewey,
really didn't have to worry about class.
right,
As long as he showed.
right, exactly. And he did very well at that.
We're gambling on college ball now, aren't we?
Yes,
We're gambling on everything, aren't we?
pretty much. Yeah, it's legal.
Well, you know, it's legal.
On the internet.
And, you know, I want you to realize that one of the things that I saw on television the other day on one of the networks, on all of them, I'm sure, is one of the NFL players talking about gambling, doing this, and they said, one thing you need to do is don't chase your losses, and don't bet with money you can't afford to lose.
Right.
You know, if you got plenty of money and you want to bet, that's fine. But if you're taking your kids' food
Sure.
money and betting it, you know, it ain't right.
Right.
So for all you folks who feel the strain of Christmas spending and think about gambling, here's a little something for you that'll explain why you shouldn't sometimes. They call it Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, and if you're a betting man, that's no place to be. You give them your money, then you give them more, but it never is quite enough to open up the door. Or you can go to Vegas and lay your money down where every door is open when you walk into town. They give you the odds and then back up against the wall. And it's all up to luck who makes the curtain fall. Yeah, it's all up to luck who loses or wins. The right ear hears your song and you're invited in. The right roll, the right cards, the chips come your way. And it's never your decision. If you get to go or stay, it's all up to luck. Nashville or Vegas, it's the same in either town. No matter how good you are or how much cash you spread around, it's all up to luck. Who loses or wins? The right ear hears your song and you're invited in. The right roll, the right cards, the right chips come your way. It's never your decision if you go or stay. It's all up to luck. Remember that before you make a big bet that you can't afford to lose. We'll be back after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
Times are very challenging right now, and stress levels are high.
Reports indicate overdoses on the rise in communities across the state of Tennessee.
Those experiencing addiction and their loved ones may be struggling to navigate through all the change.
We want you to know that deaths from overdose are preventable.
And help is available.
Anytime.
Day or night.
How do I know?
How do I know?
I am a face of recovery in Tennessee.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, John Rigmond here for segment
100. Pat Welch here, the segment 100, our closing segment. We hope not for maybe forever.
Did you forget to bring the balloons? We were going to let some go.
Huh. Yeah, they're not up there, John, so they hadn't been pre-released. Yeah.
Oh, man.
What are we going to close at?
Well, Johnny
hugely
Cash.
Successful.
This is a Johnny Cash song.
All right.
You know, I started off doing, in the first segments, the ones that mostly I wrote, and once we got through the ones that I felt comfortable doing, then I started doing songs that I remember from my youth. And this was one that Johnny did. Love is a burning thing that makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flame went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. This ring of fire, this ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. But the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire, went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. This ring of fire, this ring of fire, this ring of fire.
What a way to close her out.
You know, I think we got more applause that time than we normally do.
Anytime you do something 100 times, they're going to be wild about it now.
I don't know. That song? I don't know, John. June Carter wrote that? Wow. She wrote it for him to sing. Now, I'll tell you a little story about that. You're so all-knowing, John. You know so darn much.
That brings us back to segment 5 when I was accused of, in a piece of frustration by Mr. Rigmond, said,
I'm kidding
you think
about
you know
that.
everything.
I'm kidding about that. I didn't know June wrote that, but Johnny Cash had a hit on that song, and he was to play on the Opry, and he was wanting to bring trumpets in when the instrumentation come, and the Opry didn't want him to do that. I don't know if whatever resolved. Maybe it didn't come. Maybe it didn't perform on the Opry. But I know that they wanted to keep traditional sound, which trumpets had never been a part of the Grand Ole
See,
Opry.
John, that's a perfect example of how we've lasted to 100. Management chips in something that we don't know about, and you can expound on it.
You know, for the most part, management has sat back and sort of let us have it. Now on this 100th, he feels like he can sort of
inch his way in
and take part of this conversation. We'll be having a chair right here next time.
I'm sorry.
No,
I thought this,
John, we appreciate you. We appreciate you allowing us to be on here.
Yeah.
We got a good topic.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
We got good topics.
What is it, John?
I can't remember.
Throw a picture up there, Philip, and we'll just start from there. Here we go.
Who is that, Pat?
Well, the center coach is Coach Bobby Morton. The gentleman to his left is Jack Jolly. And those two would be about the same age. And a little bit older is the gentleman on the right was Tommy Whitaker. And he had coached with a long time with Coach Cooper. Coach Cooper retired after the 1966 football season. And to be honest, I don't know how many people remember this, but Coach Morton he was hired, I believe, as an assistant. Coach Morton and Coach Jolly were originally from Murfreesboro. And the person that was hired was from Upper East Tennessee named Rex Dockery, and he had played at, I believe he was originally from Cleveland.
What, a UT boy?
Uh-huh. He originally was from Cleveland and played with Steve Sloan, who went to Alabama, and then you're right, John, he went to UT. But he was young and extremely aggressive, and he was hired, I think, on like a Wednesday or Thursday, and he met with the team on Friday. That was at the high school. He drove back to the administration building and told the superintendent of schools, he said, they can't win. And the problem was that they were real young. It was a really sophomore-laden team. And so they were out of time. Practice was about to start, so Coach Morton was
Hit
hired.
the road, Jack.
Yeah. So,
don't you come back.
Yeah. And he ended up, he went to either Marshtown or West or East, and 2 years later was one of the first state champions as the TSSAA started state playoffs. And from there he went and got into college coaching, and he became the head coach at Memphis. And he was in a small plane recruiting on the way to Lawrenceburg. Lawrenceburg used to have a really big quarterback club, and they honored state honors, and sometimes they'd recognize somebody from the South, and he was recognized as the coach of the year because he got Memphis from nowhere to a pretty decent team. And he died in that. There was a plane. He died in a plane crash there. Yeah.
Coach Jolly, by the way, he was a baseball coach.
Baseball coach when he when he left. They both left about the same time when Murfreesboro Central split. Coach Morton left to become the head coach at Oakland, and Coach Jolly went with him and was the baseball coach at Oakland, and he did a great job there, and the field now is named after him.
Coach Jolly, on the other side, was Tommy Whitaker, and he was the girls' basketball coach.
Right. And
when he played 3-on-3, and we did a segment about that one time.
And he had several really good teams. Throw another picture up there, Philip. That's the bottom picture there on the right. With the glasses is Coach Morton, and to our left, to his right, is Tommy Whitaker, and then the next one over is Sleepy McKenzie. We've mentioned him several times in here before. Much younger than I think some people might remember him at. This would have been in the football season of '69.
They were being
invited to the Lions Bowl, which the Lions Bowl now is named after Sleepy, him and Frank Sams. So that was a big picture because in 3 years they had gone from not very good to at least bowl eligible, which at the time you had to win at least 7 games.
And bowls were set up individually by communities.
Right.
Invited the Butter Bowl. Remember the old Butter Bowl?
Butter Bowl was
Tobacco Bowl in
Hartsville.
Hartsville.
That at times was really the state championship. Hartsville would try to get the 2 best teams in the state by the state rankings, and those they slowly were faded away as more and more teams were added to the state playoff system, and you couldn't find somebody
in
with
Dover. I think it was Dover, Ashland City.
I think Lawrenceburg's bowl was the Crockett Bowl.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. All right, and here is Coach Cooper ran a single wing, which General Nayland and UT did, and we've had several segments about that.
Let me tell you how I got this picture. I was up at Walmart one day, and Stan Lindsay, there standing to the left, was having these remade or whatever, and I got my flip phone camera out real quick and made a copy of this. And so Stan was going to give a picture to Paul, who is to the right of him. Go ahead.
Well, this is the first backfield picture, or first backfield in Tullahoma history that would have not have been a single wing backfield, and it'd be the first time you had a quarterback sitting directly behind the center, and that quarterback 12, which would be to the left, is Stan Lindsay, and he's got plenty of hair, and he and I both wished we still had the same amount we had in high school. The one behind him, 32, is a fullback. That's Paul Cooley, who worked for the school system and special ed for a long time. And
I think Paul's lacking for hair too.
He is now. Yeah, he looks pretty dignified himself. He was a sophomore and ended up being a great player, and we got a scholarship to Austin Peay and played there. Behind him is Dave Penzola, who was a basketball player too. He was a really good athlete. And then the wingback to the right is Rick Moore, attorney in town, and he went on to that spring won a state hurdles championship, won Coach Card's first individual track champion. So that's
why were people moving away from the single wing, Pat?
Well, the passing game is easier from a quarterback spot, and Tennessee particularly started losing players like Steve Sloan that we mentioned. Steve Spurrier was another one that they were close to. Steve Sloan was from from Cleveland, and Steve Spurrier was from Johnson City, and they both left so that they could be quarterbacks. And
single wing just didn't give them the opportunity to display.
To throw.
It was a tailback-oriented offense, and the quarterback would take the ball many times, turn, pitch to the halfback, and
the quarterback was lined up sideways. Management, Mr. Gray was what they call a blocking back. Some people call it quarterback, but it was really just a glorified pulling guard, basically.
Pretty dadgum good offense, though.
Right, it was. Yeah. And when Coach Cooper had good players, they won plenty of games with it. And when Coach Nayland had plenty of good players, they had plenty. But it became, people thought it was old and time to change, and Knoxville changed.
I always think about, like in track, you have the Western roll, where people used to go over the front, over the bar, and then later on they did the Fosbury flop, and over on the back side, going over with their back. And there it became standard to do the Fosbury, the flop.
And that change would have been during Coach Cardin's time at the high school.
Go to that next picture.
All right, now we're moving on in time in this portion right here.
About 20-something years later.
This would have been in '87, and the '87 team, I wish we'd had time to talk more about it in an individual segment, but they're really the best team probably that Tullahoma's had, in that they made it to the semifinals of the state playoffs. In the last 4, they were beaten by Jefferson County in the semis at Jefferson County, and a tremendous crowd from Tullahoma went over there. And Tullahoma had Maurice Shaw was a senior that year, and he gained 2,900 yards and broke Frank Mullins' all-time rushing record. And there were 2 juniors on that team that played in the NFL, Antonio London and Steve Matthews. Jefferson County had a linebacker named Todd Collins that played for the Patriots. So one high school game had 3 future NFL players in it at the same time. I don't know if you'd be hard-pressed to find another game that had that kind of talent. But I thought something that's neat to kind of point out today. That team was coached by Joe Gaddis, who left after that year to go to Oak Ridge. And but a great example, I think, if somebody wants to play high school football and he makes up his mind early enough and works hard enough, he can, just about anybody can participate. The kicker is Greg Alexander there, and Greg had a genetic eye disease that by this time he's legally blind. And I've talked to him, and he said that it was like looking, at that time in his life, it was like looking through a donut. He could see things at a distance through the middle, but there was a circle around the middle that was kind of hazy and kind of dark. And once if he got him lined up with the goalpost, he could see through the middle of the donut. He could see the goalpost, but the surrounding stuff he could not see. Put that back up one more time, Philip. We got to talk about one more man. The holder is my buddy Darrell Welch, spelled with a C, bless his heart. And he would have gone to high school at about 100 pounds, and he was Joe Gaddis's manager. And finally, Darrell begged him to let him play, and he said when he first got his equipment for the first time in spring or whenever he was going to let him play, he said he thought his equipment weighed more than he did. But he became the holder, and he was the holder for all the extra points and field goals. And Greg, Coach Gaddis, there was a Kaywood, Mike Kaywood was the kicker that you knew was close to Tom. It was his son. He was a normal kicker, but when they had a good lead, and in that game, that was a homecoming game against Lawrenceburg. I think they were 47. I think it's 47-7 at the time, and that'd be a time when he let Greg kick about 7 or 8 extra points during the year. And I think that's a great story. That two people that can participate. And we can finish it with one other thing on Darrell.
Go ahead, Pat.
This is a great story.
This is a good one to end on. Darrell Welch and the Alexander boy has done well.
Oh, yeah.
In their adult years.
Yeah.
We're proud of them.
Yeah, very similar to you and I, John. But where was I?
I can't remember. You were going to say something about. Are we going to have to end it because you can't remember?
No, we're going to hang in there till we finally remember. We're talking about Darrell and doing something, and oh, here we go. They played Lincoln County, which traditionally was really strong back in the 70s and 80s, and this was in 87. But we were beating the fool out of them one night, and Coach Gaddis said, Darrell, on this extra point, I'm going to send you and Greg in. And he said, no, I tell you what, it may have been a field goal that was going to be close. And won't give Greg a shot at this, and we're going to use a backup snapper. And said, if the snap is anything off, he said, you pick it up and run out to the side and try to get out of the way. And Lincoln County had an outside linebacker who was ferocious, that was all-world at the time. And sure enough, Darrell said the ball came rolling back. It didn't snap back, it rolled back. He picked it up. Poor Greg can't see him, so he swings through like Charlie Brown, about to kill himself. And Darrell picked up and went out to the side, and he got it almost to the sideline. And that good player popped him. And all 126 pounds went airborne. He said he landed in the first lane of the track and ended in the 6th lane. And when he came back, he said that people on our sidelines were really tore up about it, that, you know, our buddy, the little guys, getting beat up. So they ran out there and they almost had a fight. And Darrell said he was about to hit this all-world guy, and he looked up. All he could think of was, he's going to hurt me, and my dad's going to be so upset. So they got order restored, and Darrell it wasn't necessary to put all his 125 pounds into a battle against a 220 man.
Great story.
Yeah. The landing on the first lane and ending in the 6th was pretty a good description of what that was like that night. John, we finish up segment 100. And we started off being great friends, and this has made us even stronger.
That's right.
We've had a great time. Management has blessed us to let us on here. If there's enough applause following this, we may have an encore. But we want to announce to everybody that we're looking for sponsors. We are going to have a marathon. Management has announced that he will let a marathon happen, 1 through 100, all at one time lined up. It's going to make Andy Griffith marathons look pale. I'm excited about it, John.
All right.
So that ends it. We're at 100. Maybe an encore if applause is heavy enough. Thank y'all.
Talking history about the Sandman. It's Conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. The trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Oh-way bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You know, I've always been a proponent of South Jackson Civic Center, always will be, because of the wonderful things that come into our town that step on stage at that Civic Center. And, you know, of course, we do a lot of productions locally, big shows like we had around Christmas time, White Christmas, the Nutcracker, all the plays that are done, South Jackson Goes Country, but there are also other shows and other performers that come in that aren't from here, that travel. The Motowners that came in from Florida and played all that beautiful Motown music. Spielman, the piano player, the different piano players and folks who have come through on the jazz. But there's one guy that's a friend of mine who came through when Fran was had in charge of the office over there he was through here two or three times in the 9 years she was there. He's a young black gentleman from Memphis, Tennessee, Darius Wallace, and he is probably one of the most talented people I've ever been around. And he's been here and done Martin Luther King. He's been there and done Frederick Lewis. Frederick Douglass, excuse me. And, but one of the most incredible things that he did that captured me was one time he was on stage and he did a piece called The Wind. And he absolutely lifted himself in my eyes and in my mind up off that stage that day. And here is Frederick Douglass doing The Wind.
I am the wind, says the eagle within. I am the wind that wrestles the air grown thin. I am the strength you found my weakness in. But in my weakness then I find my blessings begin. Suffering is the daughter of struggle. Struggle is the grandmother of success, he said. Success is the man child of miracles, crucified by jealousy, the closest friend. Resurrection is overcoming hatred. Hatred is the uncle of revenge. Revenge is converted by love. Love makes broken hearts mend. Mended hearts bring truth. Truth is the root that makes the tallest tree ascend. These trees create the oxygen that makes me again the wind. I am the wind, says the eagle within. I am the wind that wrestles the air grown thin. I am the strength you found my weakness in, but in my weakness then I find my blessings begin. I am the wind that brings victory to those who succeed at failing. I am the rudder that directs the warships that must go sailing. I journey the motion of life where the track of the train be derailing. I ride the naked road still to reach the town in my wailing. Though the tears sweat out rain, evaporated my soul of pain, and the stain is left by the blood, and the blood reaches the brain, and sacrifices are performed to thoughts, and thought is where my power remains. My thought emails ideas to action, and action is when I am the wind again. I am the wind, says the eagle within. I am the wind that wrestles the air grown thin. I am the strength I found my weakness in, but in my weakness then I find my blessings begin. I am the wind in the moments when you think you might lose. I am the pearl of wisdom found by the simplest fool. I walk with fallen angels and dine with them over booze. And fallen angels are former demons, and demons are the diamonds we did not choose. And choice is the voice that shouts from the sun top, that reaches the real till you feel the truth shot. And shake and shame and name the lies stop, to feel the stitch, to feed the stitch when the lies stop. But can I stop these wings? My heart, these wings that soar across the sky, these wings. I am the breath beneath the butterfly, these wings. This grace that glides along the wind, these wings that make rejected stones ascend, these wings. Fresh faith, I was the doubting door. I am no more, but am that stone that with the Christ Christine angels adore. These wings, you hear the sound that sings and rings, the bells beneath waving strings, baptized in crystal fire, never again to live beneath the high life, letting loose like lightning, looking lethal, luring little leaves, lubricating blood that is born from the Lord. Triple darkness overcome, but not the sun. He be the righteous one. His rock cannot be moved. He is the King of glory. His name, my friend. I am that I am, therefore I am the wind. I am the wind, says the eagle within. I am the wind that wrestles the air grown thin. I am the strength you found my weakness in. But in my weakness then I find my blessings begin.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the time of the day to go jawing with Jackie. Here's Jackie Duncan in here today, and we're going to talk about all things good. Got a little time. Did you have a good holiday?
I sure did. Get
to see a lot of family?
I did not, but you know, we had great plans, and of course plans were sometimes they just don't work out.
No.
We had great plans, and we were all going to go to. We had Thanksgiving. I was telling you last time. We had Thanksgiving in Manchester at my older sister Betty's house, and everybody showed up, and it was good. But we didn't have that same. We didn't have the same blessed. We weren't blessed as well this time. Maybe. Well, we're blessed to be here always. But bottom line is, we were planning on going to Alabama. Everybody's going to show up there, right out of Huntsville, at my niece Danette's, and for Christmas. Well, her husband got COVID, and just about that time, and then her kids. She's got 2 kids that they're big kids now, and fantastic kids, and they were. She was very concerned about them because they have compromised immune systems, and they weren't able to take the virus shots, the prevention. So there's been a problem all along, and a lot of concern, even back at the beginning of COVID. But they've been blessed, and the kids, I think, maybe had a little mild sickness or whatever. But we didn't go down because of because of the things that just happened. Life happens to everybody. So, but we had a blessed time. Two of my sisters and me got together for Christmas at my sister in Manchester's house. Linda and Betty and I all got together, and so and she went down to see her daughter. Then it's her daughter in Huntsville. So she went down to see them Christmas Day. We had dinner Christmas Day. Then she went down to see them Christmas Day, take Christmas gifts and everything. So it was good. It worked out good. We're still here.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Ask me too if they're small.
You talk about your sisters and all that, and taking something down Christmas dinner. What do you bring to Christmas dinner?
I bring a hearty appetite.
You mean you don't have a favorite dish that Uncle Jackie has to fix?
I've got some little muffins that I've been famous for over the years, and I'm gonna bring
there
you some.
You go.
I'm gonna bring you some
Muffin
sometime.
Man.
I'm gonna bring you some sometime.
Jackie Duncan, the Muffin Man.
Yeah, the times haven't been right.
The corn muffin?
No. These are raisin oatmeal banana muffins, and they come with a guarantee. They've got a slogan. They're so good you beat your brains out smacking your lips. And they're really good. And I'm gonna tell you something. And I got a guy. This right here is a picture of my church in this was 2006, I believe. Yeah, this is when the last pastor was. Our current pastor that just
there you go.
left.
Hold it up straight where she can get it. Hold it still. There you go.
Yeah, this is Pastor Crutchfield. When he was our pastor at Mount Zion, and this was in 2006, and that's when he left, and that's when our last pastor, that one that just left recently in 2023, that's when he came. So anyway, but this was Crutchfield, and Crutchfield preached Sunday. We got him back to preach Sunday.
Yeah.
We invite preachers in and to preach, but we have a dynamic staff already. We've got ministers there that they're not. They're ministers in training. Some of them are, and then some of them are they're full-fledged ministers that go to church there. So we have not been without the word. Every Sunday, we've got a great message coming. So Crutchfield, I invited him. He said if we ever need him, just to let him know. And so I asked him if he would come, and felt like that everybody loves him. He has a great message and reaches children. Oh God, he reaches children real well. Kids would be sitting in awe. I remember years ago, they'd be sitting in awe just listening to him, because he can take the Bible and relate to current times, and kids would feel like that they're, this is for me, and we all felt that way. So, but anyway, he was there. He was our preacher for Sunday, and I just happened to have this picture, and we try to get a picture every so often. And of course, this one, like I said, that we got one right after. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. And so it needs to be kept with our history. So we try to do stuff like that. Try to be on time with certain things. But
what you got on the bottom there? You got something?
Well, I missed our old friend Peggy today. This is a poem for Peggy when she comes back. I know she's not with us today, but this is.
She'll be watching.
Okay, well, good. This is my poem, Tullahoma, Tennessee. I gave you a copy sometime back, and I got thinking. I said, well, I never gave Peggy a copy. So this is Peggy's copy, and I was going to give that to her today for her Christmas.
Well, you just keep it. I want you to give it to her personally.
I will. And I love this type of this background paper. I don't know that it's very visible right now, but I've got a lot of different kinds of paper that I use for background sometimes and print on there, and
it's good.
Yeah, that's a beautiful background paper.
Looks like you're up in the sky.
Yeah, and so anyway, but
Spirit in the sky.
Mm-hmm. And now this is one right here that actually I want to say something about a program that's coming up for Black History. Black History is right up on us, and
that's February.
But Dr. King's birthday, of course, is this month, and there's a program that's coming up on January 15th, which is next week, sponsored by the We Care Committee. And this is an invitation for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Celebration Day. And they do this every year. And there's a march from at 8 o'clock on this day, on January 15th, from the C.D. Stamps Community Center to City Hall and then back. And it's just a march, it's a blessing to be a part of it. I tried to walk in that thing, I think, last year, and I wasn't able. I was having some physical problems and with my legs, and I think I got about a block, and I said, well, that's enough of me. So I backed out and walked back to the C.D. Stamps Community Center. But the title of the program this year, the theme is We Believe, We Achieve, We Succeed. So it's on January 15th.
And there'll be speakers.
There'll be speakers at 8 o'clock. There's going to be the march. Then breakfast at 9 o'clock.
I bet there won't be anything. There won't be any muffins there, will there?
I doubt it. I'm not back in the muffins business shit. I backed out back during. And I'm gonna tell you, one of my greatest customers, the guy that always I should give them to him. He's not a customer per se, but one of my greatest fans, I say, of those muffins was Pastor Crutchfield. Every time I see him, he said, "Where are my muffins?" There's a little boy at church used to do that. Used to say that. He'd come up to me, and he loved those muffins too. Young man, I think he probably grown now and lives in Arizona. He'd come up and pull. He was just very small, and he'd come up and he'd pull on my coat. Said, "Where's my muffin?" And he was ready for some muffins. So it's been a blessing all along. I've been making those muffins for a long time, and.
So who we got speaking that day? You got a list?
I don't know who the speaker is, but the list shows the march is at 8, breakfast at 9, prayer at 10 o'clock, and the program starts at 11. So this is C.D. Stamps, 810 South Jackson Street, right down the road here. Former Davidson Academy School.
Paul will probably be involved in some way or another.
I commend Paul Cooley and Joyce Blake and Volkita Braston. Oh God, they have been there for forever.
Sure.
They started this, and with Mrs. Hatcher, she used to be here. Mrs. Hatcher was about 100 years old when she passed. She was our usher board at church, and so she was just
you reckon Jermaine will be back this year?
I don't know, but we'll see what happens. But when I'm talking about Davidson Academy, the C.D. Stamps is the former Davidson Academy School. And this is one of the pictures that was up there as you walked in the gym. That guy over here, let's see, where is he? Right there. That's yours truly right here. I was class president that year, and valedictorian.
My, what a pretty young man.
I don't know about all that. But this is how small the classes were, and this was like I said, the class of 1963, and the school.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there 5 boys and 4 girls. Who got left behind? Wasn't you? I know better than that.
I'm good. But anyway, this was this, and this. I'm saying that to say that this. I'm watching lately about the Hall of Fame that's coming up for THS. We have lost somehow or another all our history that was in that school. That was that we didn't salvage ourselves when the building was torn down. Somehow or another, something happened with all this. This used to spell out Davidson Academy from the early classes. There's another picture, like I said, A. Of course, this one right here says C, and this is Academy and part of Academy. Davidson was spelled out, and this was spelling out Academy, this class, and of course the school closed down after this year. But all the pictures that were hanging up there, we cannot find them, cannot locate them, and so I'm trying to find out if anybody has any knowledge of them or of where the information is, or if it just got destroyed It might. We think it got destroyed when the building was.
A lot of stuff does get destroyed.
Well, and the pictures should never be destroyed. And so anyway, but we're looking and hoping and praying that the other speech pictures will show up at some point in time. And the only reason I got this one is because Mrs. Stamps, my fifth and sixth grade teacher, I was in California at the time that it happened. Yeah, I know we're out of time, and I was in California at the time it happened, and I wasn't available when the school got torn down. So
all right.
Anyway,
well, we always love it when Jackie comes because he shares such good information with us, and a lot of it about history. And I was talking about Miss Marjorie Collier earlier, passing away, and she was a great historian as well. Yeah. So. It's always fun to do a little jawing with Jackie.
Same here, buddy.
All right, so we'll be back right after these messages.
Thank you.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
Senior Living. Active, independent senior living at its finest.
Do you love sports? Then you should know about STEM. Because maximizing nutrition, analyzing peak muscle performance, calculating the perfect shot, and more are all made possible by science, technology, engineering, and math. In fact, there are more careers than ever in sports science. So if you have a passion for sports, then think about getting involved in STEM and improve everyone's game on and off the field. Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, over the years, 32 years, I guess, so far, we've been doing television here in Tullahoma and surrounding counties. We've had an opportunity, and I have as well, our staff, to see a whole lot of things and a whole lot of great, wonderful entertainment, just like Darius Wallace a minute ago. One night I was down in Normandy when the Normandy Cafe had music down there, and Don Jones, my friend Don Jones, and Nikki, who was Waylon Jennings' manager, owned that building and that place down there, would bring in really, really, really fine entertainment. And there was a young man down there one night by the name of Tom Bresh. And his daddy was Merle Travis, who, along with Chet Atkins, created the Nashville sound of guitar playing. And I was fortunate enough to meet Tom and get some video of him, and we want to bring you that right now. Tom Gresham.
spend my money. If I come back, honey, take another swing at me. Told my friends how I sent you running, cause you weren't treating me right. But if I looked up and saw you coming, treat me wrong all night. Well, come on, honey, come on, spend my money. Yeah, come back, mama, take another swing at me. Yeah, come back, mama, come on, mama, come back, mama, take another swing at me. Take another swing at me. There it is. That's your whole damn thing. I'm going on around, gonna see my baby. I ain't coming back. No, I ain't coming back. So don't you roll on, buddy. Don't you roll so slow. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Yeah, roll on, buddy. Pull that load cold. I can pull when the wheels won't go. Try to pick kind of like this. It's lonely to Harlan, it's lonely to Hazard, just to get a little brew, gonna get a little brew. Well, now when I'm long gone, they can make my tombstone out of number 9 coal, make it out of number 9 coal, cause the 9 hammer killed John Hammer, but it ain't getting me no more, it ain't getting me. Yeah, the 9-pound hammer just a little too heavy for my size, for my size. Well, come and listen, you fellas, so young and so fine. Yeah, seek not your fortune in a dark, dreary mind. Little fool, that's a habit, and steep in your soul, till the stream of your blood runs as black as coal. Where it's dark as a dungeon, damp as the dew. The danger is double, and the pleasures are few. Where the rain never falls, and the sun never shines. It's dark as a dungeon, way down in my mind. Well, I hope when I'm gone and the edges shall roll, my body will blacken and turn to coal. And I'll look from the door of my heavenly home, and I'll pity the miners digging my bone. Well, it's dark as a dungeon, it's heavy as a key. Ooh, danger's double, that's a folk song, I can do what I want. Then the pleasures of you, it's a key. Well, some people say my hand is made out of mud. The poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bone. The mind that's weak and the back that's strong. You rode 16 times. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Well, St. Peter, don't you call me? 'Cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. Well, I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble, my middle name. I was raised and became brave. My own model line, there ain't no high tone morning make me walk the line. Oh, 16 times. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Well, St. Peter, don't you call me? 'Cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. Well, I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. Picked up my shovel, walked right down to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, a number 9 coal. The straw boss said, well, bless your soul, 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Well, St. Peter, don't you call me? 'Cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. Well, if you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't and a lot of men died. I got one fist of iron, the other is steel, and the right one don't get you. My left one will. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day old and deep and dead. St. Peter, don't you call me? 'Cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store. Okay, all of you that aren't eating, sing a song one time, snap your fingers, tap your foot, something. Here we go, all together. You look 16 tons.
What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I hold my soul to the company store.
Yeah, 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. Well, St. Peter, don't call me, I can't go. Bad impression, but you're not gonna do it. Yeah, 'cause I owe my soul. Nowhere to the company store.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing. Or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, folks, do something good for somebody today. We'll see you next time.